trees that are clearly in need of being seriously cleaned or taken down. But if they were to come down, they're not gonna take out the power. We had, how many trees that weren't even on the list, but they came down because we just have all these old trees in the yard. You can't possibly take care of every tree now. So the thing is, we just don't want one to take out the power or hit somebody's house. So there were a number of those trees that we agreed should have immediate attention, and most of
All right,
them.
so when he comes in and you get a bill for $9,400 to take down 6 trees,
I'm
because-
willing to personally bet you that this guy is gonna be very happy to be offered the work next spring.
I guarantee you charge him more.
I'm talking about.
You know, I'm telling you what I think. I don't wanna be nickeled and dimed and have to pay $4,000
We have to
every
keep an
time
eye
he has to
on
come in
the-
here
on
to
our
take a
budget.
tree down.
You know what, we could get lucked out and it won't snow at all this week. And then we'll be fine.
So we're gonna let you till
Why
January
not? So,
27th.
you know, you don't know, there's a certain risk attached to it, but we can't just be taking down every tree because it's.
Well, we're not taking down trees that are, you know, even look good. These are all severely damaged trees.
But Harry, the ones that came down, you hadn't even marked as ones that were
We,
damaged, so,
and they survived that wind.
yeah.
That was,
And if they
that
do
was a
come,
minor.
most of the ones, if they come down, are not gonna do any problem, there'll be one more tree that we have to get out there and take it out of the road.
What happens when it falls on somebody's car? What happens if it falls on somebody walking? You put that on your head. I'm done. I'm telling you what I think, and then you sit down there and you do whatever you want.
Good.
I think we should take a vote on it.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, none of those, the trees at the end of Walnut and Chestnut were marked to come down, and they came down. So what are we gonna do, clear cut the whole
We're
village?
not clear cutting just every tree.
Yes, thank you. Let's
That's
do
what we
something.
had here. And he marked 22 trees on his list. And they're all damaged. He didn't sit down and say, oh, this tree has branches on it, leaves on it, but let's take it down because it could be bad. They were all damaged trees.
I think unless I'm wrong, did we agree that we would figure out who owned the 22 trees? Wasn't that
There was
the,
that issue as well.
that was the first step?
You are right.
Which goes back to knowing what are village boundaries.
Right, right.
Let's find that
No, we
out.
just started.
And
So
some of them,
we're,
some
we're
of
now
those
5
trees-
months.
Some of those
into
trees were in the
determining-
preserve. Some of the trees were in the preserve. Some of those trees were we don't even know whose property.
Those
it was.
22 trees were not on his list.
The trees, the trees at the entrance to Trustees Park from White Pine are gonna fall into the woods. There's
Okay.
nothing there. There's
Yeah,
Alright,
nothing.
so are we agreeing that we're gonna wait and
Right.
if it's more money because we waited, we're taking the
Right.
gamble?
Right.
Okay.
And now there's no way.
Well, 23 will end up suing us very shortly.
Alright, public works list, I think David's up to date on everything, right? The only thing he has left
Yep.
to work with code about the fence?
We measured the fence.
Okay.
It needs 200 feet of fence. To go from the corner up there by the mailbox, down, across the back, and up to this far corner.
Why are you going up the mailbox? You don't have to go past the one section that's.
He's gonna have a house over there very shortly.
I don't care. All we wanna do is be able to put the cars in the backyard.
Right.
And lock the gate. That'll go from this building to the corner of the fence. A 1 8-foot section adjust with the next one will be more than adequate. You don't have to go all the way to the mailbox.
Well, Frank had sat down and said that he would like to have them not visible from anywhere because of the threat of damage, the damage that has happened in the past.
How'd you protecting code?
It's not a problem with protecting codes. It's a
No,
problem
well,
with
let's look at the,
400
we're gonna look at the area and
fence.
see. We'll look at Frank and we're gonna go look and make sure, okay.
You're gonna be putting a chain link fence between this building and the corner of that fence, which is gonna have a huge gate on it, and those cars are gonna be inside the gate. And when their cars are out on the road, their cars are inside the gate also, so that I thought that was what we were looking for.
That is what we're looking for. Okay, but we'll look.
Just save us some time.
And he's got half the bricks done on the circle over there.
Okay, and those were really the only two things that we had left on the, oh, did he replace any of the, split rails?
I believe he's already up to date on all of it.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But he has to do the other half. He couldn't do them because when he was trying to put them on top of each other, the mortar was falling out, so he had to do it, let them dry.
We have the draft of the welcome packet that you did. You wanna go through that, Jeff?
Do what?
Well, I don't know, we have the draft.
Well, you all have a copy.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and I had some changes, I don't know if you have the latest version, a couple of other changes. So this is a welcome packet that we have to really decide, this was at your request, and it would be something that would be used for new residents, obviously, and we both have the opportunity to give that to your neighbors.
I did.
Yes, we did.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So, if we can all agree on it, which, you know, judging from the comments that were submitted, or anybody who had a suggestion, make those changes, so we have a finished document now. It's just a question of, what do we do with it? I mean, it's something that we could put on the website,
Some of them can have here at Village Hall.
at the Village Hall, when people stop in. There was some back and forth about, you know, inclusion of, activities that are not technically village. The Civic Association is not technically village, I put it in. I feel that regardless, this is my own opinion, that regardless of whatever ill feelings are going on, that people come and go, but the institutions remain, and that at some point.
Well, as long as someone wants to run it. Right, the
Well,
village is always
the
gonna be running, the
document-
village is always gonna be running.
Well, the village will be run by the village officials, and there will be a trustee, there will be a civic association if people step up and run it. So my thinking is that the civic association should be included, because the civic association has responsibility for certain of these activities that are associated with the village. They're not technically village activities, but they're said in the same breath. So I think that we should take the high road, that it should stay in there. Whether or not at this moment in time.
It's a Word document, so we could take it in and out as it exists.
Well,
It doesn't
ultimately, it's your call. I have no problem with amending it. In fact, I said that about the emergency preparedness plan, which is more involved, which is that it's things are added as events happen and changes and additions and so on. I do feel that whether or not we can technically do it because it's simply a Word document, or whether or not we should do it because I think we should take the high road and just include things that have traditionally been a part of the civic association, whether you feel they're being done or not, I think it should still remain in there. I think there's probably many things in the according to the Poquott document that at any given time aren't up to snuff, they're not current, that we may not have actually been doing something. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it's your call. It's not something that we're gonna vote on, make a motion
Right.
to. It's just
I think
something
we
that
should
you asked
still-
for
right.
and it's done. I do think though that, in the big picture, it's better to take the high road. Up to you.
So you wanna send it, I'll send it out for one more round of comments, and then
If you want,
we'll do a
and
final
I think
version.
what I would like you to do is to just say, well, you know, what do we, everybody read it, I hope, that, what do you think we should do with it? And I mean, the two obvious things are, to have paper copies here, and the people or anybody else in the village can take them. And then possibly to have a separate tab on the website that people could just, you know, not they're in the village or they're in
What
Omaha.
they're,
They
yeah,
could-
what they're
you
thinking
know.
of moving in or whatever, right? Okay. Okay, so we'll send it out for one more. Okay, so, the item 16 is about civic association, which I put on the agenda after Harry's email came out to the board. I don't know, Harry, if you wanna speak first, or you want me to speak first? Okay, so, you know, I feel, and I know that you guys feel that we should be working with them, and that's obviously not happening. And, I have a lot of other things to say, but I just feel at this point that they're not helping the village, and you all saw that from my emails, okay? They're giving out information that's not correct. They're, I don't know, Cindy, if you're aware, but last meeting they were coming up with neighborhood watch. They didn't even know that those positions were filled because they didn't ask you? No. Did they ask Frank? No? Okay. They're not running the government. Okay, that's how I feel. And I think by letting them meet here, we're giving them the power to think that people think they have some kind of standing in the government. And I don't want that. I've asked for, since May, for them to provide information to me about what kind of organization they are. I've gotten nothing. I received a letter from the Attorney General who told me they're not a non-for-profit. People should not be taking this stuff off their taxes. They did not file their tax returns. He sent me the original paperwork back from 1953 when they were incorporated. And these were all things that we asked for back in May, and still to this day don't have. Karen, do you want to answer that?
Well, I'm not happy with what's going on. Posting things that are not true, half-truths, stories, comments on pictures, recording things. I've had people sit down and tell me, huh?
Not in trouble for this.
They don't have me
And
doing
they're
it.
giving
I'm
out-
doing it to protect us,
As the resident.
because Harry has said that people have been altering recordings, so I'm making sure we have the correct recording.
The point is their job is to plan parties and they can't do that.
You can't sit down here and read things that are not true and then sit down and tell the audience that they should be doing this, they should be doing that, they should be contacting the trustees, the mayor. This is not right. Your comments when you're sitting here at meetings are not appropriate. When you're sitting out there as a resident, nobody looks at you as a resident. You're a trustee. The same thing, they don't look at Felicia as a private citizen when she's posting things, taking pictures and putting them out there on YouTube and whatnot. She's a member of the Civic Association. She's an official.
Here's my point. They can meet anywhere they want, okay? But I don't think that we should be helping them meet here when they spend their meetings taking away all the good things that we're doing each month, and that's how I feel. And you've been at the meetings, so you can't say that's not true, okay? And I'm guaranteed there's residents from Maybeck sitting right here that really didn't appreciate tennis balls being rolled down their front driveway. They are the people paying the taxes, okay? So that's where I'm at, and I think that we need to either at the work session or at the next session vote of what we're gonna do. I don't know when we do that, Jeff, do we do it here or do we do it?
Well, it would be, it's brought up at this meeting, we vote out in a regular meeting, we should have a, proper resolution drawn.
Okay,
It's really it's really a policy consideration, I don't, it's not, it's unfortunate that somebody's name was mentioned, I don't think it had to be, but, I think it's really a policy decision about the use of the public property, rather than would be a proper decision by this board. But I would ask you that, I don't have a resolution tonight, I missed it on the agenda, I'm sorry, but didn't know what you were gonna do, so I will have a resolution at the next meeting if that's what you wanna do.
Is that what we wanna do?
Please, I don't use YouTube or Facebook, I don't know what's in there, but I hear a lot of things.
This is Poquott Village Hall, the civics should be here in Poquott Village Hall.
The problem is that the
Village
the
civics.
civics are running it as if they are the village, and they're not. They're giving out misinformation that's not correct.
No misinformation. All they're doing is informing the public.
I can start
So
with
what's
just
going
one,
on?
Again,
the first
jobs should
one.
be party planning. Where are the parties? Didn't see a Halloween party except for run by the village, okay?
Which
Didn't
was
see
given
garage
to
sale.
adults, not even kids. What kind of Halloween party is that? It's like the adults will have fun, but the kids.
Why? Because the kids had an opportunity to go to one at the civics? I don't think so.
Felicia sat down and read something
Again.
about the property taxes on Maybeck being, because of a private road, they were so reduced.
But that's not true.
But she didn't sit down there and say that the property had no road frontage, that it was landlocked, so therefore it was,
It's just
I'm not done,
The
I'm
point
not
is that's
done.
misinformation.
And she sat down there and used her property and Dr. Vogel's property as a comparison when both of those have road frontage on two sides. So there's facts that are not true. Half truths, lies, however you want to call it.
What I would like to see, to be honest with you, because I don't debate any of this stuff, because it's all a matter of who said what and who accuses who and whatever. The point is that there's clearly, the battle lines have been drawn and we're not working cooperatively. I think we can all agree on that. So the question is this something that might be used to finally get people in the room and figure out whether or not we can resolve some of these things? And of course that brings in some of the larger issues. Or is this gonna be, well, that's the way it is, drop dead, and you on your own and whatever. I personally understand the sense of being beleaguered by people who are constantly on us for every little thing. Yes, it is certain people, both in and out of the Civic Association, for sure. There's some free speech issues here that we can't control. I don't think we have to cater to them, but maybe the idea that, look, we're certainly not gonna enable you to continue to do this, and we can
And
therefore
that's what we're doing.
have use of the hall, and would you like us to serve drinks and, that kind of stuff. I think we shouldn't go there. But maybe if that message was given and people were to say, all right, this is crazy, this is supposed to be a nice little village, and everybody's just filled with hate, is that maybe we can say, look, if you do this or stop doing that, we'll do this, and maybe we can get back on track. I do believe that you have the right, and probably should, given all the slings and arrows, that we shouldn't enable that to continue.
I agree.
We have to stop it at some point, but it should be used to somehow address the problem. The trouble is both sides feel that they're so wrong that I'm not gonna sit down with those bastards. So I would like to see some good come of it, rather than just saying, all right, that's it, we've had it.
I'm gonna add that resolution to next meeting. All right.
I actually suggested that we go into executive session with just all of
No,
us.
we can't do that.
And
No,
then,
that's not
and
right.
I was turned down on that.
Okay.
Another venue for the
We have to do snow removal bids.
snow bids, yeah.
Yes, I thought Barbara, but Joe informed me that that's till 2018, yay. So we only have to do snow. And next is Maybeck. We're up to Maybeck.
Right, so I did the, I did the agreements yesterday. So what these, I did it, excuse me, I'm sorry, we had I got the deeds for each of the properties, we gave them to the village engineer, who, looked at the, roadway and also the, title descriptions of each of the properties. That company then, they have an engineering section, that engineering section took care of that, and they have a survey section. The survey section drew up the, basically the extension of the road, the confirmation of the existing, extension as a public road rather than compared to a private road, and gave me that property description, for each of the properties and also for the entire, roadway. So what, I did was I drafted an agreement, a permanent easement agreement for each of the properties. Each of the people has now signed it. I have to look at it and make sure they're all recorded, in recordable form and properly executed. But subject to that, we're at the point where we can accept the dedication.
Okay, we'll do
It's a
that.
dedication of a permanent easement. There was, and the other parts of this is that the residents have agreed to pay any of the costs, the administrative costs as far as the drafting and preparation of those agreements and the recording of them, preparation of the property description, the meets and bounds descriptions that were involved. And that's basically it. So for tonight, for the regular meeting, if you want to go ahead with that, I have a secret resolution, and then I also have the resolution accepting the dedication.
Okay, we'll do that. Okay. Did everyone get to read the village audit? Okay.
And I think that's okay. We had some discussions informally about having some of the residents just take care of some of the things. There were some issues that, and it was just a standing in the street type of discussion. But the people talking were basically saying, we would have no problem in chipping in and doing certain things, because the problem has gotten worse as a result of, there are some drains, but they kind of got filled up. And, so I would hope that if we haven't, and you haven't said anything, so I assume we haven't gotten anything from anybody in Maybeck about that, but I would like.
No, we did.
Did we?
Yes, they offered to make,
Oh, okay.
donations for that. They're waiting to see what happens with them.
Sorry about that.
I didn't.
Okay.
So we'll look into that. I'll pursue what you're. I did hear that there was a discussion about this. Follow through with what you're saying. I'll look into it.
I think they were very cooperative in that regard, and I think that was an issue that a lot of the residents had raised. So I think it's only fair, and this way we're coming to a nice compromise agreement.
Anything else? Okay, so everyone have a chance to look at the audit and approve it tonight, okay? Village dumpster, last meeting we ordered a village dumpster, but I was under the impression that we were getting a dumpster for here, was I wrong? No, you didn't think that, did anyone else think that?
We put a dumpster,
Yeah, I thought we were getting it,
we put a dumpster at home now.
right,
The
but
tree that
we
fell
talked
on that
about
Wednesday
having,
night, Thursday, and that was removed by the tree company that did the 2 trees on Chestnut, so we had to dump it back and pick up the dumpster.
okay, I thought that we had a
It was never
discussion about
used.
having a village dumpster here at Village Hall, I think we should have one. You've asked for it, David's asked for it,
Really, we put it.
where are you gonna put it?
What are we gonna put in it? Village Hall?
Well, maybe we could bang out the wall, make it bigger.
There just seems to be continually stuff that needs to be thrown out. And I think that we can make some kind of arrangement where they leave the dumpster here, and we call them when it's full.
We have a park.
It's not gonna be a big dumpster, is it?
Doesn't have to be a 30-yard dumpster, it can be a 15-yard dumpster like they originally had down at the beach.
What are we filling
If
up?
we're gonna put a dumpster in any visible place in the park, I'm against it. I mean, you're gonna, welcome to our park. Dumpster.
So where are you gonna throw all this stuff?
We'll get a dumpster, when we need a dumpster, we'll get a dumpster, that's the way we've always done it. But, I mean, we're gonna have a permanent dumpster?
All
in
right,
the-
so every time,
Yes. Don't even know.
fine, you do it. That's great for you to sit there, but you're not the one that's doing it.
It's a park, it's a nice park, and we have,
It is. And that's why the junk is being thrown out.
right, a roll of dumpster. We're gonna get another one, it'll be a junk.
Get rid of it.
We'll put it over in front of your house.
Okay, we were discussing Bill's Friday, there was a restriction on that. And did everybody look at the final draft of the emergency?
You got the, final.
I did,
Okay.
I mean, I think-
Did you send that out?
I did. I think it's fine, I think we can just take it, make, go from draft to final, put it in with the policies with all the
A
other.
lot of these stuff that I got from Ken Swinburne, sent me an email, and it's all federal, FEMA guidelines. It really applies to federal and state, and by the time it comes down to our level, in fact, John, you made a good suggestion about block captains or whatever, but, what they said is simple is best, and don't get locked in. And, that to me is exactly, like, suppose the block captain is not home. So they just want to get a sense that you have a plan, that we use the same language as everybody else, and,
Meeting adjourned. 7:20. 5 minutes. Do we want to do the resolution?